Hello everyone. Today I'll be showing you how to achieve this physics bone effect for a character that has animal ears or a tail. This can also be used on animals. I wouldn't see why not. So let me just explain really quick what's going on here. Basically, the only thing that's animated here are these two bones and this bone right here. Everything else is pretty much just all physics. Okay, so here we go. Now, as you can see in the in Unreal, since these top bones are simulated, you won't see them move like they did in the blend file. And as you can see, it was supposed to twitch right here, but it didn't because we no longer have control of these bones. Basically, the simulation is doing all the work there. And if we stop the simulation, you can see it did the little twitch. So basically, if you have a Mixamo animation or something, you don't have to worry about animating a tail or ears. You can kind of just basically do the root bones of the ears if you just want a little bit more of a emotion in the character, or have the tail wag or something and just let the physics do the rest of the work. I believe that is the best use for this method. It's pretty easy to do, and I've basically only saw this from the official Unreal's YouTube channel, where they show off how to make this dinosaur thing. Let me bring it up. So this video basically goes in depth on how you can do a full body IK character, so it's gonna be linked down in the description. I highly suggest you check it out if you're interested. So basically all I'm gonna do is this little tail segment here and tell you about some of my troubleshooting. Okay, so without further ado, it's very easy, very simple, quick tutorial. So first you open the physics asset of your rig. If you don't have it, you can always right click and create physics asset. However, I don't think it will generate the actual colliders and constraints that way. And so once you add your rig, sometimes it doesn't have all of the capsules for all of the bones. So in that case, what you want to do is click this cogwheel here, show all bones. So what you want to do is select the bone that you want the capsule on, right click and add, let's say this one. I already have it, so I won't add it, but just to explain, you want to add the shape, and usually it's best to go for a capsule, but if your character has like a different shape or whatever, sometimes it might be better to go for like a box or a sphere. So whatever suits you best, just choose that one. And if it's constrained to another bone, what you want to do is select the main bone, right click, constraint, and then you're gonna want to find the bone that you want to constrain it to. Okay, hopefully that should be simple enough. Now for the very, very, very important part, because this is something that I've been racking my brain around. Make sure to have your constraints pointed the correct way. So for the ears, let's just say that you want the constraints to go kind of outward like this. Unless, you know, your ears are a different position or something. You know, it all varies on the model. Usually, my tail is pointed downwards. That is also very important. So your constraints on the tail pointed downwards should be good enough. Now that you have everything set up, you can basically add the physics. So, alright, so now I'm just gonna hide the bones because we don't need them anymore. Now what you want to do is select all of the colliders, I guess, right click, and make them kinematic. Alright. So, now that all of your bones are kinematics, you're going to want to select the ones that you want to basically be simulated. And for me, it's going to be these. Then you're going to right click, go to physics type, and click simulated. Easy enough, right? So what that's gonna do is it's basically going to ragdoll those bones. So they're gonna go flying all over the place, but don't worry, we are going to fix that for the ears. The method that I found best is to have the mass on 2, linear damping on 1, angular damping on 100. Alright? So what this should do is it should stop the ears from falling downwards, and instead it should keep them up. Alright? Now we are not done quite yet. Next thing you want to do is, while having your ears selected, the constraints that we made, select them, and now your details have changed. So what you can do is just scroll down, and when you come down to angular motor, it's going to be set on slurp. Change that to twist and swing. Alright, then you're going to check in the drives swing, and for strength you should put 2000. Now this may vary, you know, you can play around with this, see which settings are best for you. For me, 2000 was good enough. Well, basically what this does is it bounces the bone back to its original place, so it doesn't just like stay moved at the designated location. So actually let me show you. Let me put this at 0 and let me simulate and play an animation. So as you can see, the ears are now just like staying in place. So now let me just go into reference, stop the simulation, and again, if I press this and put this at like 2000, there we go. And we're going to play another thing. We're going to simulate it. There we go. See? Now the ears are kind of bouncing back to their original place. And if we use this test, oops, there we go. See how they're just returning to the place? That's basically what it does. Now, for the tail, again, we're going to select the bones that we want to be simulated. You should always leave the first one as kinematic, so because that's gonna be the one that's gonna be driving the rest of the simulated bones. So with every bone that goes downwards, you're gonna want to make the mass half of it, because this is going to help with the weight of the bones, so that your tail doesn't like fall down to the ground. With our tail selected, the first one, I have the mass at 12. linear damping to 1, angular damping at 120. The second one, because like I said, the mass should be cut in half with each of the bones, it's 6, linear damping is 1, angular damping is 120. And finally, the last bone, again cut in half, it's 3, linear damping is 1, angular damping is 120. As for the constraints, we are going to select all of these. There we go. Scroll down. Again, angular drive mode is set to twist and swing. Select drives to swing, and the strength to 1200. It should be enough. And with that, hopefully, you should have the same result as me. So again, let's see that test. Very nice. One more thing, okay? Since you're most likely going to be using animation blueprints, one nice really thing you can add is a rigid body. So right click, rigid body, there we go. You're gonna want to put your new state machine in here, and as you can see, it automatically makes this local to component. And the output you are going to want to plug in to your either output pose. In my case, it goes into this group, but you know, it doesn't matter. What's most important is to have this rigid body between the new state machine and whatever goes into your character. So I'm not using the default third-person blueprint here, so that's why it's a bit different. But either way, if we recompile, as you can see, you know, you can see a little bit of that bounciness. However, we can improve that with the rigid body by basically copying these components. Oh yeah, by the way, another thing I should mention, sometimes this method isn't perfect. So, for example, if you have like a looping animation like this, and it goes on for too long, and the head bouncing, for example, doesn't change, the ears will like go back randomly, and I don't really know how to fix that. Hopefully you will find a solution for this, but it's a very minor inconvenience, because very rarely will your character just have this short of a loop and this short of a consistent head bop. But it is a thing that can happen, so pay attention to your animation and keep that in mind. Back to the rigid body. With these new coordinates, so just copy these for yourself. So x is 0.2, y is 0.7. I think that's supposed to be 0.5 actually. Let me just change that. And this is z is 0.7. And these down should be 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. Okay? So let's switch over to the new one. And now you can see that the bounciness is a bit better, especially at the tail, and again, the ears that fall, very cool. And here is what it looks like in game. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it helps you. I'll see you in the next one.